You know, I was visiting my dear friend Margaret last week. She's 78 years young, and something she said really stuck with me. Getting older isn't about giving up your independence, she told me, while showing me her new jar opener gadget. It's about getting smarter about how you keep it. And you know what? She's absolutely right. After 70, staying independent isn't about doing everything exactly the way you always have. It's about adapting and using the right tools and strategies to maintain your freedom and confidence. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. 5 life-changing tools and tips that can help you stay independent, safe, and in control of your life after 70. These aren't complicated or expensive solutions. They're practical, everyday things that can make all the difference between struggling and thriving. Because here's what I believe. Your golden years should be about living life on your terms, not about limitations. So let's start with the first game changer that can help you do just that. Tool number 1, the magic of grab bars and railings. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Grab bars? Those are for old people. But here's the truth. These simple tools are actually for smart people who want to stay active and independent. Think about your bathroom for a moment. It's probably the most dangerous room in your house, with slippery surfaces and hard edges. A properly installed grab bar near the shower or toilet can give you that extra stability and confidence you need. And it's not just bathrooms. Consider adding railings along staircases or in hallways if you sometimes feel unsteady. My neighbor Bob, who's 82, installed a few strategically placed grab bars last year, and he says it's like having an extra hand always there to steady him. The best part, today's grab bars don't have to look clinical. They come in stylish finishes that blend right in with your home decor. This isn't about admitting weakness. It's about giving yourself the support to stay strong and independent longer. Tip number 1, the power of micro movements. Here's something many people don't realize. Staying independent isn't just about the big things, like walking or lifting. It's about maintaining all those small, everyday movements, reaching, bending, gripping, that we often take for granted until they become difficult. That's where what I call micro-movement exercises come in. Try this simple routine each morning while waiting for your coffee to brew. Open and close your hands 10 times to maintain grip strength. Slowly rotate your ankles in circles to keep them flexible. Practice standing up from your chair without using your hands. Make sure it's a stable chair. These tiny exercises take less than 2 minutes, but can make a world of difference in maintaining your mobility. My friend Sarah, who's 76, does these while watching the morning news and credits them with helping her keep gardening, her favorite hobby. Tool number 2, the life-changing reacher grabber. If there's one tool I recommend to everyone over 70, it's this, the humble reacher grabber. Now, I know it might seem silly at first. I can pick things up myself. But hear me out. This simple tool can actually prevent falls by eliminating the need to bend or stretch dangerously. Need that spice from the top shelf? Dropped your keys? Want to grab the newspaper without going down the front steps in your slippers? The reacher grabber has you covered. What most people don't realize is that using tools like this isn't about an ability, it's about prevention. Every time you avoid an awkward bend or risky stretch, you're preventing potential injury that could compromise your independence. Keep one in your living area, one in the kitchen, and maybe even one in your car. You'll be amazed at how often you use it once you get accustomed to having it around. Now that we've covered grab bars, micro movements, and reacher grabbers, you're already well on your way to maintaining your independence with some simple but powerful tools and techniques. But we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll talk about 2 more game changers that can help you stay self-sufficient and confident in your daily life. Because here's what I know for certain. With the right strategies, your 70s, 80s, and beyond can be full of freedom and possibility. Stay tuned. Now that we've covered grab bars, micro movements, and reacher grabbers, let's talk about 2 more game-changing tools that can make all the difference in maintaining your independence after 70. But before we do, I want to share a quick story about my friend Carl that perfectly illustrates why these tools matter so much. Carl is 79 years young and still lives alone in the house he's owned for 40 years. Last winter, he slipped on an icy step but was able to catch himself because he'd installed sturdy railings. That railing didn't just save me from a fall, he told me. It saved me from having to move in with my kids. That's the power of being proactive about your independence. Now, let's look at 2 more essential tools for staying self-sufficient. Tool number 3, the medication management system that actually works. If you're like most people over 70, you probably take at least a few medications. And here's where things get tricky. Missed doses or incorrect medications are one of the top reasons seniors lose their independence. But there's a simple solution that's revolutionized medication management. Automatic pill dispensers with alarms. These are your grandmother's pill organizers. Today's models can be programmed to sound an alarm and dispense the exact pills you need at the right time. Some even connect to your phone or a caregiver's phone if you miss a dose. My neighbor Evelyn uses one that lights up when it's time for her medication. She says it's like having a personal nurse reminding her. The peace of mind this gives is priceless. No more worrying. Did I take my pills today? No more frantic calls to family members to check. Just simple, reliable medication management that helps you stay healthy and independent. Tip number 2, the home safety audit everyone over 70 should do. Here's something you can do this weekend that could prevent accidents and extend your independence. A simple home safety walkthrough. Grab a notepad and walk through your home slowly, looking for potential hazards. Check for loose rugs or carpets that could trip you, poor lighting in hallways or staircases, cords or clutter in walkways, bathroom surfaces that get slippery when wet. Make notes of anything that concerns you. Then tackle one fix each week. My friend Martha did this last month and discovered her favorite reading lamp cast shadows right where she usually walks at night. A simple $20 lamp change made her evenings much safer. Remember, your home should work for you, not against you. Tool number 4, the smartphone features you're not using but should be. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I'm too old for smartphones. But hear me out. Today's phones have incredible features designed specifically for seniors. Emergency SOS that can call for help with a button press. Magnifier tools to read small print. Medication reminder apps. Video calling to stay connected with family. And here's the best part. You don't need to be tech savvy to use them. Most phone stores offer free tutorials, and grandchildren make excellent teachers. Just promise them cookies afterward. My 83-year-old cousin resisted getting a smartphone for years. Now she video chats with her great-grandchildren every Sunday and uses her phone's flashlight to check dark corners when she comes home at night. Tip number 3, the 10-minute rule for staying strong. Here's a simple strategy that can help maintain your strength and mobility. The 10-minute activity rule. 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Dedicate just 10 minutes to purposeful movement. This could be gentle stretching while watching TV, walking laps around your living room, light strength exercises using soup cans as weights. The key is consistency, not intensity. My friend Lou, who's 81, does his 10-minute moves during commercial breaks of his favorite shows. Over a year, that adds up to over 180 hours of exercise without ever setting foot in a gym. Now that we've covered medication management, home safety audits, smartphone features, and the 10-minute rule, you've got even more tools to maintain your independence. But we're not done yet. In our final part, we'll reveal the 5th and most powerful tool of all, one that ties everything together and can truly transform how you experience life after 70. Stay tuned, because this last tip might just be the most important one yet. We've covered so many valuable tools and tips already. From grab bars to medication management systems, home safety checks to smartphone features. But there's one final, crucial element to maintaining independence after 70 that ties everything together. It's not a gadget or a physical tool, but it might be the most powerful resource you have. Let me explain with a story about my friend Rose, who at 82 still lives independently in her own home. Rose had all the right tools installed, but what really made the difference was when she started implementing what I call the Independence Network. After a minor health scare last year, she sat down with her daughter and a few close friends to create a simple but effective support system. This brings us to our final and most important point. Tool number 5, building your personal independence network. Your independence network is made up of three key components. Trusted helpers. This could be family, friends, neighbors, or paid helpers who assist with tasks you can't or shouldn't do alone, like climbing ladders to change light bulbs or moving heavy furniture. Professional resources. Having contacts like a reliable handyman, a geriatric care manager, or a transportation service for medical appointments means you've got expert help when needed. Community connections. Local senior centers, places of worship, or social clubs provide both practical resources and emotional support. The brilliance of this system is that it allows you to remain in control while having safety nets in place. Rose set up a weekly check-in call with her neighbor, arranged for a college student to help with heavier chores twice a month, and keeps a list of reliable services in her phone. It's not about needing help, she says. It's about being smart enough to arrange it before I need it. Tip 4. The 3-box system for important documents. Here's a practical tip that can prevent emergencies from becoming crises. Set up 3 clearly labeled folders or boxes in an accessible place. Medical, copies of insurance cards, medication lists, doctor contacts. Legal, will, power of attorney, important account information. Home, utility contacts, maintenance schedules, emergency numbers. My friend George calls this his in case of emergency system. He updates it every New Year's Day and has given his daughter a key to where it's kept. It takes little time to maintain, but provides enormous peace of mind. Tip 5. The independence mindset shift. The most powerful tool isn't something you can buy. It's how you think about independence. True independence isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about being in control of how things get done. It's the difference between I have to do this alone and I choose how this gets done. This mindset shift changes everything. Suddenly, using a walker isn't a limitation. It's your ticket to continued mobility. Accepting help with groceries isn't dependence. It's smart delegation. Installing safety features isn't giving in. It's taking control. Putting it all together, let's recap the 5 key tools for maintaining independence. Physical supports like grab bars and reacher grabbers. Medication management systems. Smartphone technology. Your personal independence network. The right mindset. Remember my friend Margaret from the beginning? She recently told me, independence isn't a single achievement, it's a daily practice. And she's absolutely right. Some days you'll use all your tools, other days just a few. What matters is that you have them ready when needed. Your next steps. I challenge you to pick one tool from this video to implement this week. Maybe it's installing one grab bar, setting up medication reminders, or having that conversation with family about your independence network. Small steps lead to big results. I'd love to hear in the comments, which of these tips resonated most with you? What's one change you'll make? Your experience could inspire someone else on their independence journey. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend. We all deserve to age with dignity and independence. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical tips for thriving after 70. Here's to your continued independence. May your golden years be filled with freedom, confidence, and joy. Now go enjoy that beautiful, independent life of yours.